Alrighty, and we are back with another episode on Across the Board. It is Wednesday. It's starting to rain here, just a little bit. But it's warmed back up, and it
Is it
feels
raining right
really
now?
nice to be back. It is raining right now, actually,
I don't think it's raining up here.
but it feels nice to be back. I missed Monday, missed a good episode, but I'm very glad to be back.
I hope you
So
watched the episode.
I did actually. I did. I was actually working at the golf course, sitting in the picker, listening to the podcast. Um, but it was a good episode. Really exciting. Um, But with that being said, today we're going to recap the Waste Management Phoenix Open and then preview the Pebble Beach tournament coming up, which when we get this out, will be on Thursday. And for an exciting week of golf. So that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into the Waste Management. Um, this was exciting. A lot of movement, the leaderboard, a bunch of names up there. I believe at one point we had 19 players within 5 shots to lead.
I think it was 20.
Um, I mean,
It
it was
got
a
to
big,
20 at one point.
yeah, I mean, it was a big number. Some things I watched this week that were interesting. Um, I think what was fun was watching of course, the commentators, the on-course analysts, and then even listening to caddies. They were talking about how they were playing their shots into the greens. They were
Mm-hmm.
awfully firm. There's also it was funny, some holes they were trying to land the ball in the front of the green and get it to roll to the back, which is kind
Yeah.
of like which seems very uncommon to do as many times in a round as they've had to. Um, but that was fun to see. But the big storyline, uh, Hideki, that was not ideal of a finish. Um,
Mm-mm.
he hit the tee ball terrible. He was set.
Yeah, he was. Oh, you were just about to say, yeah. He was
Yeah, he was,
70th in strokes
mhm.
gained off the tee.
And he had 45% driving accuracy this week. Um,
In round four alone, he was 69th
I think
in
he was
strokes
two.
gained off the
What
tee.
was he two for like 14?
He only hit two. Yeah, he only hit two fairways
Yeah, I mean
last round.
he struggled
He
off the
did.
tee.
He did everything else great.
He scrambled
Legitimately,
very well.
he was tied for first in strokes gained total. He was second in strokes gained approach, third in strokes gained around the green, and third in putting, and 12th in tee to green. But his driver was horrendous.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and
legitimately.
he scrambled very well, but Hideki's a great player, but that I it was one of those things you were hoping it wouldn't get him into much trouble. But after 17, I was sitting there. Me and you both talked about it. We were watching it. You know, the only thing we were wondering there is, okay, what's he going to hit off the tee? I mean, what is his option? Because it
Yeah.
seemed like from what a lot of the tee shots I watched seemed to be a right miss.
Well,
Um,
he kind of overcorrected. He started off
mhm.
left, and then he overcorrected it right, and then he missed another one left, and then he kind of just the rest of the time he started missing it right for the most part because he didn't want to miss left. And most of the holes out there, you can't miss left. And then
Yeah,
18, he got to 18, and you can't. Right's not really the miss. You can miss left. You can hit it in that bunker. I mean, whatever.
but there's
And I
water to
think that's
contend
just kind
with.
of what happened. Well, yeah, but
Yeah,
the first time, I mean, the first time was fine. The first time he got over the water, and he knew. I mean, he could carry that water all day unless he duck hooks it, which then he comes to do.
hmm
But uh, the first time wasn't anything bad. He just caught his bunker shot a little thin, and it hit the top of the hill, which you know
yeah.
then forced a playoff.
I don't know about you, but from the angle that I saw, it looked like he had plenty of. I mean, he only had, I think he had like 122 in. It seemed like he kind of had plenty of room to be able to get it over that lip. But I agree, it seemed
I
like he caught it
think
a little
I
bit.
think he might have. I think honestly, it was more of a he was trying to get as much spin on it as he possibly could, and trying to pick it as clean as he possibly could with how hard those greens were, and that pin was that front pin, and I think he was just trying to spin it as much as he could. And I mean, Hideki being as good as he is at hitting, you know, his wedge shots and his iron shots, no wonder. But yeah, he did catch that one ever so slightly thin, and it hit the top of the hill.
Yeah, I mean, and that was crucial. Then he gets on the green, and then um, that was sad, man. I do feel like it's a little important to point that out. Like that was sad what happened to him on the green. I
Uh,
think
he, I
a
thought
video.
he was going to stop anyway because the blimp flew over and cast a shadow on the hole right before he was about to hit, and I thought he'd pull off because of that. And then right after that happened, he got heckled, so he
Mhm.
pulled off that one, obviously.
And then he got heckled. Was it the playoff? He got heckled as well. It was a playoff.
Well,
Yeah,
he
he
didn't
got.
get heckled on the playoff. It was actually a security guy that dropped a chair. He
Oh
was moving
man.
a chair and he dropped a chair um somewhere behind him, and yeah, that was unfortunate as well, which I don't know if that it I mean, you and I both know we play golf. It's never an easy thing just to step up and hit your next shot because you're worried about it happening again. But someone being as good as he is, uh, and also though with him being the struggles that he had with driver, I don't know if it affected him more or it was just kind of, well, I got messed up there and now, something else
Well,
messes me up and I'm already,
yeah.
I, who knows? It could have been a culmination of things, but he did end up snap hooking that drive. I mean, it was a snap hook, and uh, he got lucky that it landed up top. It actually, well, he got unlucky. He got lucky, but unlucky. He got lucky since it landed up top, but it did hit a um,
I thought it had the
what
slope.
some patrons no, it hit some patron's foot, and it bounced back into the water. And so he got lucky but unlucky because if it doesn't hit the patron's foot, he might be fine and he might be hidden too. But also he got lucky that it landed on that side of the slope so he could drop over there and even have a chance. Which then so be it. He hit a great shot with the lie that he had. Those are things that he's known to be able to do. He can hit those shots with those weird lies and stances, and he had a great shot. I mean, he gave himself a really good chance. Just man, got her up, and it's surprisingly to most. Got her up shot 7 under in that last round, and I don't think most people were realizing that he shot 7 under, and nobody. He had a. I saw it today. He had a 6% chance to win on his second shot on 18. Before he hit his second shot on 18, he had a 6% chance to win, and he hit his
Mhm.
second shot on 18. And then this was like during just final play. He hit his second shot on 18, and then he made that birdie putt. He made birdie
Hey, by the
and
way,
got him to 16.
I
And
want
I
to
don't
point
know what
out.
his odds went there, but nobody was even realizing that he was climbing up the board.
Did you see that shot he hit on 18?
Yeah,
That was insane. That was a ball above his feet. I mean, that was an insane lie.
it was a great shot, and you know, maybe that's why he only gave him a 6% chance because they didn't think he was going to make birdie from there, which so be it. But at the same time, I don't think anybody realized that he was 7 under. He was 7 under for that round, and then obviously he gets to the playoff, and obviously I was cheering but not cheering for him, um, but love the man. But he hits a great tee shot. Obviously, it's what had been doing great all week. He was sixth in strokes gained and first in strokes gained from tee to green, and then he had a probably like a 15 footer for birdie. And I don't know if people realize, but he was 50th in strokes gained putting this week.
That
50th.
I think his stats this year, putting hasn't been as quite as upside from the
His putting has
from.
never been his upside.
Mhm.
He's really good at ball striking. He hits it a long way. His driver is amazing. Putting's really not his thing. It's kind of like think Scotty, but he hits it a little bit further. When Scotty was bad at putting, that's basically what Goddard is. If he could putt more, if he could putt just a tad bit. I mean, obviously he won this last week, but if he could putt a little bit better, he'd win a bunch of tournaments. But yeah, he was 50th in strokes gained putting this week, and I mean, it makes a 15-foot putt on the playoff to make for birdie to win. and he ends up winning this tournament, which is insane. And I said it on the pod Monday, but I called it.
Hmm.
Disappointingly, but I called it. Uh, but I mean, because it fit his eye. That course is just the course for him. With how far he hits the ball and how good he is at striking the ball, uh,
Yeah.
it's just one of those courses that he's just gonna take advantage of.
Hmm.
And man, he did it. He was great. And I know he said obviously he was 50th in strokes gained putting. He was second in strokes gained around the green, fifth in strokes gained approach, sixth in off the tee, first in tee to green, and obviously tied with Hideki at strokes gained total for the whole tournament. I mean, he did everything he could, um, and he had a great last round to win in this tournament.
Yeah. Um, I wanted to talk about it, and I, excuse me, I talked to people about giddy up. First, I call him giddy up, so I'm gonna call him giddy up now. Um, Going to that final round, my only concern with him winning the tournament, he was very capable. The only issue I had was how he played the last six holes, the two previous rounds, and I say that because those are holes you have to take advantage of.
Oh well, yeah, they're the six holes at the end of that course that yes, you had to take advantage of, but also you can't make mistakes on. Uh, those are the holes that people do take advantage of the most, but at the same time, those are the holes that people mess up the most as well. And because there's a lot of upside for being aggressive, but there's a lot of downside for if you hitting a bad shot. And we saw that not a single person got up and down on 16 from behind the green in
Yeah,
that
that was
whole
a
fourth round. Not a single person got up and down. And I, yeah, I mean, but you said those are the holes that you got to take advantage of, but you also got to make sure that you don't make mistakes.
yeah, and there was a difference there. So in rounds two and three, Goddard was two under total.
Hmm.
The round one and four, 11 under.
Yeah,
That's a big difference.
he went. What do you go the last round? Birdie,
He was
birdie.
five under. Yeah, he went
Yeah, he
birdie,
went
birdie,
birdie, birdie,
birdie,
par.
par, birdie,
Oh,
birdie.
oh yeah, right. Birdie, 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 par, birdie, birdie,
Um, but
and then he birdied the last, and he birdied the playoff hole.
so
So
we
it was
can add
six
that to
birdies
make
in
a set.
seven
Yeah,
holes. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, he played well, and that was a huge. It was one of the bigger factors for me. I mean, you got and of course, commentators were saying it as well. You had to take advantage of that
yeah.
hole, and they did. Um, a couple. I did want to just say some. I did want to like mention some guys this week that that played. Akshay had a strong showing. He was on the leaderboard.
Mm-hmm.
Thornbjornson. I hope I didn't botch that name, but uh,
Thorbjornson
yeah,
had a great week. He was
yeah, he,
first in strokes gained off the tee,
yeah,
and
he was,
he played phenomenal.
and of course Scotty was sitting up there. Um,
Great last round.
Again, this was an exciting week of golf. I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed watching it, and I was enthused by what I saw and
Yeah,
watching them finish. But with that being said, let's go and shift into this week's AT&T Pebble Beach Pro Am. This is the first signature event of the year,
yeah,
believe
it
it or
is.
not.
It's back to back weeks of signature events. Since well, we didn't have the regular first tournament of the year. Um, that obviously was going to be the first signature event, but now it's not. Now Pro Am Pebble Beach Pro Am will be, which Rory is defending from last year. Um, and obviously it's Pebble Beach. It's a great place to play. All the guys love to play there. The weather is always a question. I have not looked at the weather for this week.
Oh, I
I don't
have.
know if you have.
I have.
I know today it was horrendous.
I just want you to
But
know that the weather was a huge factor in me picking my winner and who I think is going to win.
oh well, I know you said that to me the other night that you had picked your winner already, and I had meant to look at the weather. But I know today it was really windy, which Pebble can always get.
Yeah, it's
And
going to be
sometimes
windy.
and sometimes you get lucky. Like last year, Pebble did not play that difficult per se for most of the rounds. They got kind of lucky with the weather, uh, and some years you just get completely unlucky and you get drenched, and it's the windiest golf course on the planet, and it becomes just a struggle.
Yeah, I mean, it's again the wind can be a huge factor. And here's some numbers I have. These are the last five winners. Okay, these are some last five winner numbers. Now, this doesn't include the Spyglass. This is Pebble Beach. All top five, all were top five in strokes gained putting.
Hmm.
Two were top 10 green regulations. Four were
Hmm.
top 10 scrambling. Um, I think
Which
hitting,
is exactly what Pebble makes you do. It's not a long. It's in terms of the PGA Tour. It's not a long course. It's not a very tight course, even though most people do think of Pebble as a pretty tight. But it's really not in comparison to a lot of the other courses. Um, it doesn't rely on hitting the ball ridiculously far. It relies on you hitting fairways and then most importantly, hitting the greens. And it makes total sense why everybody it's first in strokes gained putting, because if you can putt out there, which we saw Rory do it last year, he putted amazingly. If you can putt out there, you more than likely will have a chance to win this tournament because that's just how Pebble is. I mean, it really challenges you on your approach shots and around the green and putting. It's really not the most difficult driving course on the PGA.
yeah, and that was my next point. Kind of a big thing going this week: ball striking, hitting greens, putting.
Hmm.
This isn't a distance game. This isn't drive the ball forward, put a wedge in your hand. I mean, you would
Hmm.
like to, obviously, but
Yeah.
this is definitely sitting more on the ball striking. Um, Again, it's going to be a huge week. Um,
Hmm.
I'm very interested to see how this week plays out.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see. Um, yeah, Pebble's always a fun course to watch them play, and it always, especially if the weather is ridiculous, then it's even more fun to watch. And if you're saying like it should be, then it might be quite the watch this weekend. But and first signature event, obviously, playing in twosomes, which is fun to watch as well. I mean, it's always a fun tournament to watch, and yeah, can't wait to see how they play.
yeah, I'm excited for this week. Again, ball striking. Some names I do want to mention going this week. I think I'm
Mm-hmm.
interested to see. Pearson Cootie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's been a guy who's been sitting up top a couple leaderboards this year.
Yeah,
He's a guy to look out for. Um,
yeah,
Again, he's sitting up there. He's been lingering. He's due. He's due. He's a guy I'm
he's a
interested to
good
look
player.
for sure.
Yeah,
Michael Thornbjornson. Uh,
Bjornsson, yes.
yeah, last year I believe he was first on tour in greens and regulation. Uh, he is an absolute ball striker. Uh,
He is.
and I think that's going to kind of sit in his favor. And again, we saw him top of leaderboard. He's going to be interesting to see um, how he approaches this week and how he plays. Uh, but I'm excited to see how he does.
Hmm.
Of course, Scotty. I mean, he's gonna be up there. Uh, he's gonna be up top of leaderboard. No surprise there. Um, and then I had a couple other guys here. I gotta try to pull it up right now though. Of course, Rory. Rory's in the field this week. Uh,
Finishing.
Excited to see him back. Tommy Fleetwood. He's in the field this
Yeah,
week. Again, a lot of big names. Gonna be exciting week of golf. I'm excited to see how this all plays out. And with that
for
being
sure.
said, you know what it's time for.
Yeah.
Time to pick our winners.
Before you pick, I just want to point out some things as well that you had said. Obviously Tommy, first event of the year. Rory first event of the year. A couple other guys that this is their first event of the year, and it's big for them because it's depending on how much of a fast start they can get off of. Um, I will say it's weird. Like Rory is obviously really good off the tee, and he gains most of his strokes off the tee. And like we were saying, Pebble is not a course that really brings that strength out. As in, it doesn't gain you shots at Pebble. It just doesn't. It doesn't happen. Um, Last year, though, we saw that instead of Rory was great off the tee, but instead of that being why he won because of his putting and how good he putted. Um, Obviously, it can change every week. You could be the best guy in the field one week at putting and be the 50th the next week, and even being 50th, you could still win like you saw Goddard did this last week. Um, but like we said, it's going to take putting, and it's going to take some accuracy, and just I brought up Rory and his distance and his strokes gained off the tee because of the fact that he kind of didn't fit the mold of what you would think would win, even though we all know Rory can win that tournament easily. He's one of the best golfers in the world, but he doesn't fit the criteria of a guy that you would think would win. Um, and it's kind of like going into this week, like Goddard, for example, is another guy. He gets a lot of his strokes off the tee, like we saw this last week. He wouldn't really fit that mold. Or Thorbjornsen, like you said, he gets legitimately all his strokes off the tee because he's so good at hitting his driver. Um, and so he wouldn't like fit the mold either. All those guys, even Pearson Coody, like you said, all those guys hit the ball extremely well off the tee and take advantage of that. It's more of like Rory did last year. Can those guys that hit the ball really good off the tee, can they take advantage of the greens? And because again, their distance isn't really going to separate themselves this week. It's more of that approach shot and shorter distances and around the green that's going to really be the reason why someone wins.
For sure. Again, I mean, conditions are going to be interesting this week. We'll see who takes advantage. But I'm gonna have you start. Who do you got?
I start. I think you should start. You start first. I want to hear what you got.
I'm so stuck right now. I've got two guys I want to pick.
You said you had a guy.
I did. Then I was like, I'm stuck between two.
Give me two. Give me two of them.
The I got Justin Rose and Tommy Fleetwood are the two guys that I'll pick between. This weather, man, is setting up for European golf. I just the weather is just
Hey, no, I don't blame you. It's exactly it's just
and they're
the only reason I say that is because it's funny because I was looking earlier and again this week Scotty is plus 275 and the next closest guy is Rory at 1400 plus 1400. And I was looking again of who could be the guy at that like close to 3000 mark that could pull it off. Last week I called Chris Goddard up to be the guy. He won it. Justin Rose is sitting right there at 2500 and I looked at that and I said, man, with the way he's been playing, even at his age, at the way he's been playing, and especially like you said, if this weather's going to be that European style, he will fit the mold of a guy who could win it because his short game and his approach game is so good. Um, we've seen him struggle with the putter at times, but this year he's been hot with it. If he can do that, he definitely can be more. Not really a lines of a dark horse because I think he has like the fifth best odds, but a guy that maybe not most people would pick that could definitely win this week. So I give you total credit for that, and I mean it makes much
it
sense.
should
Really just above him too was Tommy Fleetwood at 225, 2250. Same deal, you know.
yeah, I mean that's the thing though, man. It's like, do I want to take Jay Rose, who's already won this year and he's been playing good this year, or do I take my chance with Tommy, who has not stepped on the PGA yet this year, and kind of see what he can do?
That is one of the problems. Obviously, Scotty did it this year, but that was the first time Scotty had ever won his first tournament back in season, and it is hard to do it. It is hard to step up first tournament of the year for you to
I'm
play
gonna
and
say
win it.
this. I'm gonna
It
take
really is, but it's not impossible. All these guys are good; they can do it.
I'm gonna take J Rose. I'm gonna take Justin Rose to win it. I think he's fourth in approach to the green this year, and
Hmm.
I think I got him at 28th in the strokes game putting, which may not be amazing, but that's still solid. Like, just to me, I'm trusting my gut. I think Jay Rose pulls it off this week. And like I wanted to take Tommy. The issue is
Hmm.
his numbers last year in the strokes approach to green and the strokes game putting, like they
Hmm.
look good. They're like yes, but then it's like
Hmm.
they haven't started. Like I don't know what to do. I can't put it out there yet. So I'm going to take Justin Rose this week
Okay. All right.
and the
I
weather.
just want to mention some guys. Um, I want to mention some guys. I said it last week. I'm going to do it again this week. I want to put some dark horses out there. It's kind of just my thing to look at the guys of who might not have the biggest chances, but definitely guys that I think could win. Um, First of all, I'm going way out there, but if you know the golf world, you know it's really maybe not way out there. He's plus 10,000 on the week. All right, double glove it this week. Aaron
Oh,
Rye.
he's off at 8:45, and he is hey man, European
He
golfer. He fits the European weather.
that's exactly it. But his short game is immaculate, and he does everything else good. It's a course that kind of fits his mold of his game. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes and shoots a really low score and be on top of the leaderboard in the first two rounds, maybe. It's really just if he can finish. We've seen him have some troubles doing that. But a guy that I would say to look out for, another guy, another European guy, and I think there's a you're going to see a trend here. You're going to see a trend. Um, Bobby Mack, another guy. He's great.
Robbie.
His approach game, his short game is amazing.
Ah,
And like you said, with the weather and
wow.
everything, he also loves to play Pebble. Another guy, he sits at plus 4,000 that could definitely compete to win this tournament. Another guy that also fits the mold of everything else. Victor Hovland, he played good this last week. He
That was
sits
me, a
at
guy.
plus 3,000.
I will say he kind of snuck up on my list. Like I was thinking about
Mm-hmm.
throwing his name in the mix. I do
Yep.
want to. Can I interject and say something real quick before we continue on?
Go ahead.
Does Andrew Shoffley get back in the mix this week? He, he's got.
You see,
I
I want to say, look, I want to say yes. I want to say yes because it's more of his type of game. And this course fits his mold of what his game is. The only problem I have with him is that his driver has been on and off, on and off. And I know I said this course isn't about how well you hit your driver all the time, but if he can't hit his driver good, he will have troubles. And off the tee has not been his strong suit this year, and that's what has been costing him a ton of strokes. If he can figure that out, especially in the weather that they have, then great. But if it goes awry and he can't hit his driver in this weather, it's only going to make it 10 times worse. So I want to say yes, but it really just depends on his off the tee club.
sure. All right, you may continue now. But I saw
And
his
then
name.
the
I wanted to
last
throw that out
guy, I
there.
just kind of want to another plus 3,000 guy. He played great this last week. He had multiple chances this last week. He just couldn't make any putts on the stretch. Matt Fitzpatrick. Um, Matty Fitz, he's one of the best,
European.
obviously, short game guys. Yes, all legitimately. Um, all of them were. He's been the best short game guys. He's obviously one of the best approach guys. I know he's gained distance over the last few years, but that's man, he's really good in this type of course. He's really good in this type of weather. If that be the case, um, I really love those four guys to be kind of the dark horses. Um, Again, I only pick guys that are plus like 3,000 and above to really categorize those. But man, and it's so hard because you have so many good guys playing this week. But I think my pick this week, it's so hard, man. Like I I, I want to pick so many guys. Mm, 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 mm. I think Scotty will contend. I think he will. I don't think I see anything that says he doesn't contend. He is the best at approach. Uh, just categorically on what he does, it doesn't disappoint any week. He's going to be up there somewhere. And no matter if he shoots two over in the first round, he's going to go out and have a chance on Sunday. And I really want to see him and Rory battle it out this week again. I think that would be amazing to see. I think it would be fun. Man,
I,
Scotty, like I want to pick him so bad. I
I
want
got
to
one more
go
name.
with Scotty's going to win.
I got to throw one
Go
more
ahead.
name out there. Forgot to mention. Watch out for Siwoo, man. Siwoo Kim's been playing some pretty darn good golf.
He
That's
has.
enough.
He has been
That's
playing some good golf.
he's second in approach to green this season, so he's an interesting.
Or even go you can even go Hideki. He lost this last week and I know he did. But I mean if his driver fixes, then he has a chance. But that's the problem if it's driver fixes, and that's the only reason I can't really pick him, even though he's so good with his irons and his wedges. I think man, I honestly think it I'm going I'm going Scotty. Um I keep looking at this list of people and I just keep wanting to pick somebody else, but because he can't win every week. But maybe he. I mean,
I mean,
he
it could
didn't
be a
win
bounce
this
back
last
week, man.
week, but I mean, he could. You know what? I'm just going to stick to the gut. It's Scotty, and my second guy would be Matt Fitzpatrick. Give him a chance. Any of my dark horses again, I think they could win. But I'm going. I'm going with Scotty. I can't go against him.
It's really hard to, and I making my picks. Like I was like, how do you go against Scotty? I I don't know, man.
It's
There's
just
not.
like Pebble fits. Pebble fits his type of golf. He's played good at Pebble. He loves Pebble. Pebble. All the guys love Pebble, but he plays really good there. It fits his game, especially the approach shots and the short game. It's just whether or not he can make some putts this week. He missed a few putts this last week in that final
I, be-
round. He could have shot in 10 under. And he could have won that tournament if he made some putts. And his wedge game wasn't particularly well, especially in Scotty's type of range. It wasn't great. If that happens again this week, he more than likely will lose, and somebody else will win. Somebody like a Matt Fitzpatrick who is really good around the greens and who has shown that his wedge game is immaculate. Um, but if not, man, if Scotty just puts together 85%, 80% of his game, he wins. I mean, legitimately.
it's tough to beat Scotty, and it was tough to go against him. It really was. Like, but I'm just trusting my gut. I'm gonna go Justin Rose. Not
Well,
that my
I'm gonna
gut's
trust
ever
mine.
right.
I gave you the four guys. Maybe I'd pull another dark horse pick this week and say one of my four guys I think I could win. Um, but man, Scotty's just got to be the definitive answer for me. So we've got
Sure, man.
Scotty and
Rosie.
who yep, that I so wanted to pick Rose too, but I wasn't gonna pick the same guy. Um, Scotty and Rose,
we,
man, it would be fun to see.
for sure, man.
It
Um,
maybe they'll battle it on Sunday.
that'd be awesome. I'll be watching. With that being said,
Definitely.
though, go watch the Olympics while you're at it. Hockey started today.
I
Sweden,
was
Sweden
just
were
watching it just a minute ago.
Sweden was freaking chucking pucks at Italy's goalie. Hey, Edmonton, I hope you watch that game. Might want to go sign the kid. Might do y'all some good. Sorry, that was mean. But they could use a
Yeah,
goalie.
go watch. But like you said, go watch the Olympics. There's a ton of There's a ton of events.
I think
USA
USA
stacking golds and medals upon golds and medals. Um,
US battles
it looked really
Latvia
good. A
tomorrow at
lot of
2:10
events. Yeah,
in
a
hockey.
lot of good events. Obviously, go watch this tournament this week. Pebble Beach Pro Am. It's going to be a great tournament. Go watch it. I know there's a lot of other sports going on. We will cover some more of that tomorrow. So stay tuned. Follow us on all our socials and obviously podcast.
Rem-
Um,
Remind all the people
and
where are our socials at.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Technically, we have Threads. Don't know if we ever post on it, but we do. Um, and then obviously go to Amazon Music, Spotify, or YouTube to catch our podcast. And we will have one tomorrow for y'all to go over the Super Bowl and stuff. So, yeah, I think that's all we got today.
Hope
Catch y'all
hope you
tomorrow.
enjoyed. We sure will. Go Rosie.